Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the iceHQ ice rink here in the Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, on Wurundjeri and Woiwurrung traditional land for round 8, game 1. It's the Dogs versus the Inferno. It's the clash of the round tonight for sure. I'm Carl Brewer, and joining me tonight once again is Anton Goss, and a big welcome to Scott Gallagher, who will be helping us out this evening as well. It's time to sort things out and work out who's playing in the semi. There's only 4 points left to play for, and it's got more interesting than we expected with 2 weeks to go. So from 2 weeks ago. The Bruins have lost 2 on the trot, allowing the Dogs to get onto the top of the ladder, and both the Bruins and the Dogs are guaranteed a spot in the finals. But which one? Either of the Dogs or the Bruins could finish on top and get the express ride to the grand final series. It's a big deal because the semi is a sudden death game, and as we've seen, anyone can win if things go right. You don't want to play the semi if you're a Dog or a Bruin. You want to go directly to the grand final and not collect the $200. So what's at stake for the Dogs? Well, we know about that, but what of the Inferno? They're finally showing us what they can do. They beat the Bruins last week, including an embarrassing 3-on-5 penalty kill shorthander. The video of that one went viral for all the wrong reasons if you're a Bruin. They worked out their defence at last and shut down Macaruna and his merry men. For the Inferno, they do want to make that semi. They can't finish better than 3rd place, but they could still finish 4th and miss out. They will play the Snipers in the last round next week. If they win tonight and the Snipers lose, that will be a dead rubber and they've made the semi. If the Snipers win later tonight, well, it'll be on next Friday. They at least have that second chance. For the Snipers, it's do or die both Fridays. The interesting question tonight, though, is can the Inferno close the door on the Dogs? The Dogs have multiple threatening lines that put defence to a severe test. It's not just the Berkey and Vijasov show. They have wave after wave of relentless attack and defence that involves themselves too. The goal spread for the Dogs is impressive in its diversity. By comparison, the Inferno have really relied on Hayden Dawes to bust through and create opportunities. If you're a one-trick pony, it better be a pretty good trick. It is, but is it good enough? The Inferno will need Hector and Klomp to play big games tonight, and their D will need to be 100% if they're to keep the Dogs at bay. A single mistake, an errant pinch or a misjudged high challenge, and the Dogs will get in behind them and own the game. Can Logan Ewell get under Jamie Burke's skin and see the Dogs in the naughty box all night? That'll be a key battle, I think. It's hard to win when you're short-handed a lot. Equally, Dawes has racked up a few unnecessary penalties. He can be prone to overdoing it at times as well. This game might be decided by penalties and power plays. We'll see if the boys can keep their composure if it gets tight. This is the 3rd time these teams have met this season. Last time it was a 5-4 win to the Inferno in a penalty shootout after a torrid encounter. Gossie and Scott, what's your take on round 8 of game 1?
I think this is definitely one that the Dogs would have circled on the calendar after that loss that you mentioned there, Carl, a few weeks ago. That was a back-and-forth encounter, and they were up at times in that game. But the Inferno just willed themselves back, and it was the slap shot from the hash marks, if you remember, by Hayden Dawes that ended up beating Austin Lefkowitz to give them the win. But you look at the Inferno, and a lot of people, looking at the team, they've been, lower on the ladder. It's easy to remember there's only 4 teams in the division, and these guys have taken a scalp from both the Dogs and the Bruins. The only team they haven't beat this year are the Snipers. So they know they can beat the Dogs. It's just a matter of having that belief, starting on time, and taking away the time and space from some of those top guys. Scott, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, Luke, it's going to be a big game. I think one of the things with the first game with these guys met was that Dawsey had just joined the league after the mid-season draft, and I think he made a big difference. And I think the Dogs gave him too much respect. We won't see that in this game. There's not going to be any respect. Both teams are going to want to get this win.
Well, the Dogs do have that multi-layered defensive setup, which no other team here really has. And not only that, their attack comes in wave after wave after wave. So if you look at all the other teams that we've seen, they've all had one A-line that's done most of the damage, and everyone else has been perhaps a little bit less. The Dogs aren't like that, though, are they? Look at their second line. Look at their third line. Each one of them has got the ability to score, and that's what makes them so dangerous, including the defence involving themselves persistently in those attacks as well.
I think the blueprint, if you're looking to beat the Dogs tonight as an Inferno fan, is you have to play physical. I go back to that game that the Dogs were shut out early in the season against the Bruins. And, that style that Jordan Warren said his team was going to play, where there was physical, getting in the corners, pressuring those players, the Dogs, to play in their own zone and negate that cross-ice, easy breakout pass with speed. The Dogs, what they like to do, they like to set up with players like Carpenter, Lockie Walls, Troy Robertson, Trevor Leo, their defense core on the back there, and look for those stretch passes out to you could call it cheating, but, some guy up there in the neutral zone high for those easy speeds, and then hit the guy coming in through the middle. So I think that's where we got to look at. If the Inferno give the Dogs the neutral zone, this could be 5 or 6 goals in in the back of the net. But if they can prevent them and force them to make more passes and really battle to get their space, I think they have a chance to keep this game short.
Well, it's going to be ripper. My big thing, I love watching when Vajasov and Berkey combine, because they don't do that long stretch pass. Berkey cuts across through middle of the defensive zone on the breakout and just comes through with speed and often draws in the defensive player into a high challenge and gets around him that way. We'll see if they do that as well. It's going to be a cracker.
Well, Scott, puck's about to drop. I know you watch every single game. Who do you think is going to get the first goal tonight?
I think it'll be the Dogs. I think they're going to come out hard and fast.
Yeah, probably this big line who's been really good so far this season with Tashuma, Berkey, and Verjasov, who got the Elwood Player of the Week last week in a huge battle. And here he is with the puck, passing it over to Jamie Burke, intercepted there by McKenzie. Does a nice little move to get around Verjasov. Bellick now takes a shot, but a great save there by Lefkowitz to put that into the corner. Dogs now in their own zone, send the puck back, just fanned there by Tashuma, which is going to allow the Inferno to regroup in their own zone and send that deep into Dogs territory. Puck out into neutral zone now. Tashuma sends it across over for Burke, who takes it in over the blue line, cuts in front, but a nice job by Dawes just there to push the puck away, and it squirts in front. But Tashuma couldn't get a stick on that, and that allows Dawes just to clear that out into neutral zone, but Lockie Walls is back there for the Dogs.
I think, as you pointed out before, the Inferno are giving them too much space. They're not playing physical enough, and that's allowing the Dogs to maintain possession for most of this period so far.
And of course, one of the things they have to consider there is a lot of these guys are also teammates.
Well, here's Jack Carpenter. Winds up shot and a glove save there by Woodland. Sorry, Carl, what were you saying?
No, it's all good. Well, a lot of these guys, although here they're fierce rivals, tomorrow they're playing in the same team or training in the same groups in AIHL teams. So they're not going to go too crazy. It's got to be physical, but without intent to injure.
Yeah, everyone's a great hockey community here, but I'll tell you what, when the puck drops, I think both teams just want to win, and they'll do whatever they can according to the rules in order to win, right?
Or what you can get away with.
So here's Kahu Joyce, if you remember in round one, scored the gorgeous Michigan here for the first goal of the league. He's not able to collect that, and the Inferno are now out. Here comes down the ice, is on the right wing, takes a shot, nearly handcuffed Lefkowitz, but he's able to get down and cover up, and we'll have a face-off to his left.
So with 16 minutes to play in the first, we're all tied up 0-0, and in terms of shots, we've just had the one.
All right, so face-off here, won by the Inferno. It's on the point here, Klomp, who just sends one in, a deflection, but a great stick save there by Lefkowitz. Carpenter has it here, taken into neutral zone, sends it up to Ruddle, and he'll go into the corner and battle against Klomp. Klomp will get there first, but he gets pinned there by Ruddle, but able to send it over to his defense partner there in Turner. He sends it up for Dow, who now takes that in over the blue line. He's on his off wing, winds, takes a shot into the chest there of Austin Lefkowitz.
I'm interested by the defensive pairings that Jamie's put up for the Dogs. They've got Carps and Trevor Leo on the same line there. They're two of the more tactical playmaking style defenders rather than the big hitters.
Alrighty, here, so face off to the left of the American. Face off won there by the Dogs, and they regroup that down into the back for Ryan Bennett. Bennett sends it up the half wall now into the neutral zone, but a nice job there by Alex Rose to keep that out of his defensive zone. Over here to Sean Campbell now. He sends that through the middle. A streaking Estafia, but a great stick there by Rose. The Inferno looking to get it out, and now it's with the big, great white shark, but he gets his pocket picked by Luke Fisher. 3-on-3 right now in. It's Estafiev, winds up, blocked there by Rose, bouncing puck, but Seb Woodland's able to push that out into the corner, and Estafiev falls down. Battle there, comes up onto the half wall. Logan Yule sent that up there for Drake, and it comes back into the zone there for Alex Rose, who will come out for the Inferno. Alrighty, puck goes down deep now for Ryan Bennett behind his net. Picked off there, and that was a little wraparound chance there for Dawes, but he wasn't able to curl that into the net for a great opportunity there, lurking as he does. So here comes the captain now of the Dogs. He drops that there for Robertson, who now finds his captain, who just lets that go deep. First to it is going to be Vadim Verjasov, who has that down in the corner. He sends it back to a Burke behind the net, and the cycle's on now for the Dogs. Verjasov in front for Tashuma, and that just hit his skate. He had so much time and space in front of the net, but just couldn't get a stick on it. And Seb Woodlands was able to breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, just a little bit lucky there, the Inferno, that the pass wasn't quite where it needed to be for Byron. He has had a fantastic season so far.
So here we are, the Inferno now. It's Bellick sending it over to McKenzie. He's going to wind, take a shot, blocked there by Walls, but collected there by Turner. Turner's there on the wall. He's going to send that deep, but no one there for the Inferno. So Troy Robertson's going to be able to pick that up and get that out into the neutral zone. Quick pass over, and Lee Turner not able to get the puck deep, but he'll collect that carom and send that over. And again, just a little sloppy passes here for the Inferno. Not able to collect the pace. And here comes Byron Tashuma, but a streaking Dean Klomp coming across. And he's been the real Swiss Army knife for the Inferno this year. We've seen him play D. We've seen him play forward. He really just goes anywhere that Georgia Carson needs him. Dogs now get it in front, wind by Burke, and a nice job by Bellick just to keep that away. Otherwise, Burke would have had a great chance.
It's going to be a key matchup tonight. I think we'll see Steve Bellick covering up Berkey as much as he can throughout the game.
Yeah, so here's Verjasov now. He's got the puck in the corner. He's got Trevor Leo, finds him so much time, sends it looking for a tip from Ruddle, but just went the other way. And a flip pass now, it's Hayden Dawes in on a break, takes a shot, but just shoots that one over the net there.
There's a desperate back check there by Trevor Lau that shut down the option and took away the choices that Hayden might have otherwise had.
So great job so far here for the Inferno, just being able to step up and block any of those chances. What are you seeing here so far, Scott?
Well, something I've just noticed is that Georgia Carson is not on the bench. I think she might be doing Melbourne Ice women's duties, so there's no bench coach. It'll be interesting to see how the bench management goes for the Inferno. They've been good for the start of this period, but they have to watch the shift lengths because that was quite a long shift for a lot of players, especially Dawsey.
Yeah, you know, a lot of these guys like to be on the ice. And, you know, no hockey player wants to come off, but being able to make those short changes is what allows you to play at that pace that we're so used to. And we definitely know the Dogs will keep coming at you, so you want to be rested for the third. The puck's here deep now, and Davey Barrett's going to collect that behind the net. He sends that out in front, but a shot just goes wide. Kahu Joyce now is going to collect that on the half wall. Just reverse that back there for Ruddle, who's going to send that behind the net. And first to it will be Alex Rose, just beating out Barrett. But a nice little pinch there by Stringer allows Kahu Joyce to wind up, take a shot. But a great stick save there by Seb Woodlands. And for you goalies back at home, that's exactly what you want to do on some of those shots. Active stick. Watch him here on the replay. Moves his whole body and ensures that puck goes out of play, so he gets a whistle.
It's good cycling around too there. The Dogs have their defence pinching in quite a long way, but the wingers doing a good job of getting back out and covering for him when they do it.
Alrighty, Scott, so here's Hayden Dawes back on the ice after that long shift. Let's see if he's got that energy out there. Puck comes down deep into the Dog zone. It's the big bad Ryan Bennett that's first back, but a nice forecheck by Jesse Thompson. Lots of great legs on the youngster there just to chase down Bennett, but Bennett able just to shield the puck. Inferno now are going to here regroup, and that's Bellick sending it over to Jesse Thompson, who gets drilled by Stringer. He didn't like the fact that Jesse tried to pickpocket his defense partner there, obviously. But he's back up off the floor onto the ice there. Jesse Thompson still going hard, and he's going to chase down Troy Robertson right now, first in for the Inferno.
I think that's some of the growth that we've seen with Jesse Thompson. He was obviously quite young when he started playing in this league last season, and he was a little bit intimidated. Not anymore. He gets hit, he gets straight back up, and he's straight back into the play.
100%. One of the great young players to watch for sure. Here's Drake now sending it out, and that's going to come out to Hayden Dawes, top scorer here for the Inferno. Sends it over to Yule. He's whining, looks across, finds Dawes, who sends that back behind the net. That's Drake now with it, but he's pinned there by Robertson, but able to collect the puck there in the corner and send it back to Klomp. Klomp winds, takes a shot, bouncing puck collected there by Dawes. He's going to wind, take a shot that hits off the stick there of Bennett and goes into the corner and finds the big Canadian again. And now in front of the net, Yule takes a shot and misses point blank. I think here's another shot. Great save there by Lefkowitz. That shot by Yule, all Lefkowitz could do was pray. He was so far back in his crease, but unfortunately, Logan just not able to put that one on net.
That whole shift, Vadim Vardosov was as high in the past the defense. He was looking for the big stretch pass, but what that meant was that defensively they had less men, and that's why the Inferno kept possession and kept the shots going. Great
observation there, Scott. I think that's definitely the keys to the game here. If you're the Inferno, you got to pin those guys down, especially against this line. Now, you give the defense a little time and space, and they can find Vadim. If he's in on a breakaway, that's more than likely going to find the back of the net. And here you see the same thing with Jamie 100%. As they go to look for him. So here's Jamie Burke now collecting it all over the blue line. He's got Tashuma going to the net, but he drops it back to Verjasov. Nice little move to get around Lee Turner. Finds Burke. Burke's got Leo. He'll find him. Leo's going to walk the line, pass it over to Carpenter, but just misses his stick. And that's McDowell there, able to just get that puck out. And with the puck now coming out into the neutral zone, first back is Jamie Burke being watched there by Turner. So there's an example of that stretch pass that the Dogs like to do and the kind of damage that can happen. But if you're the Inferno, you just got to keep that pressure up because, as you said, if you can outnumber them in the offensive zone, you can get some chances. A little slip there, but bailed out by Lee Turner. But Davey Barrett knocks that one out of the air. Puck comes over to Verjasov. Nice little turn. Sends it in front, but blocked there by Bellick, who watches Verjasov like a hawk. And, on his backside now, puck comes out to the half wall, down to Verjasov. He's got Leo on the point. He's going to send it all the way across there for Carpenter. Carpenter in front to Verjasov. Shot! Oh, what a save there by Woodlands as that puck squirts out now into the neutral zone, and that'll allow the Inferno to change. And over the boards is the big Canadian, the great white shark, Hayden Dawes. Now with it is Kahu Joyce. He has that just below the circle, sent that in front, but intercepted by Dawes. Dow now sends that in front, and it's McDowell coming down here on a break, sending it over there to Dow. Back in front, but intercepted there by Joyce. And the Dogs not able to get out as a great forecheck there by Dawes. Here he is now, Dawes. Just passes it to himself, takes the shot, he scores! The great white shark, Hayden Dawes, draws first blood, and the Inferno are up 1-0 here against the Doggies.
Gossie, that's an absolute classic Hayden Dawes goal there. Just from that spot just inside the hash marks, he gets a little bit of space, and just his size and physicality, people just shy away from him a little bit. And he's got that lovely little toe drag, and he leans away from the shot. The goalie goes one way, the puck goes the other, and it ends up tickling the twine. Beautiful goal there by Dawsey.
Yeah, for such a big unit, he's got amazing hands. He's given me any space, and he's going to do something like that.
I mean, the old saying is he could stick handle in a phone booth, but I really don't think Dawsey could fit in a phone booth. Let's be honest, right?
Well, it could be all right if it's a TARDIS. They're bigger on the inside.
So here come the Inferno, and who else but the goal scorer, Hayden Dawes, and he's going to fling that one right onto Austin Lefkowitz, and he'll cover up as Bennett passes that back into the goalie. So, as you said, the big man, he's been a game changer here for the Inferno since they picked him up in round 3. Many people thought the Inferno might take Jamie Burke first overall, but I think it's been paying dividends with taking Hayden Dawes definitely as they've climbed up the ladder here and taken the scalps of the Dogs and the Bruins last week as well.
It has made a big difference tonight too. It's been much better defensive play by the Inferno so far.
So the Inferno chip that out. That just gets past Astafiev. And here's Logan Yule with a nice drop there for Turner. He's one-on-one on Corey Stringer. And I'll tell you what, that's a hard guy to get past because he's just got such a long reach. Puck now comes with Klomp. He sends that shot. That deflects. And out with it is Sean Campbell now. And there's 3 Dogs with only 1 back. Astafiev whines, but that hit the stick there of Rose. And now that was Dean Klomp who cleared that the rest of the way. Lockie Walls will just regroup with Robertson as the Dogs change. Over the boards comes the top line, and Vadim's just hanging up here by the top blue line. He curls back now, but the puck comes back to Dawes. Intercepted. Nice anticipation there. Logan Yule now with the puck, and that was Dean Klomp with the anticipation there. And I think they're starting to read out and see that the Dogs are looking for those stretch passes. But here's Jamie Burke now. He's got Verjasov, drops it from back to Burke. He scores! What a goal by the Dogs! Over the blue line, a nice drop pass there by Jamie Burke, and his buddy Vadim Verjasov sends it right back to him before he puts it top shelf to tie the game.
Well, that was a magnificent example there. Burke, he saw that he was being covered up by Steve Bellick, who had all his lines and options shut down. So that drop pass back to Vadim and skate himself back into open space, and Vadim knew exactly what to do with it. So Bellick, there wasn't much he could do there against effectively a 2-on-1 situation.
There's very few players that have the type of chemistry that Berkey and Vadim have. They know where each other is without even looking, and they know what each other's going to do.
Yeah, we've seen that for a couple years here at the Pro League, but definitely at other levels of ice hockey here in Australia as well. But here comes the pressure now for the Inferno as they look to answer. But it's on the stick of the Estonian, who sends that up to his buddy Jamie Burke. And Hayden Dawes just takes an absolute clapper. Blocked there by Verjasov. He walks in, takes a shot, saved there by Woodlands. So you can see Hayden doesn't mind shooting from anywhere. And he makes that nice stretch pass, and that was McDowell that just missed it. And Steve Bellick now sent it in front there, looking for McKenzie, but that's going to spring the Dogs the other way to Schuma and Burke, but the puck comes out, and Lockie Walls will be forced to retreat as he waits for his team to get onside. Berkey now in over the blue line. He's got another goal here tonight, and he battles there against his other captain in front. Oh, where's the puck? It's under Woodlands. Byron Tashuma looking skyward. He had the puck right there on a platter, but just couldn't get enough wood on it. And Seb Woodlands able to get across and do the old snow angel to get the whistle.
A few wry smiles there from the boys as they go off for their changes. That was so closer.
Oh, look at this one. He just fanned.
So close as they don't count.
Yeah, just on that CCM all-out replay, you saw he just fanned on it off the heel of his stick. He might need to get one of those CCM Max Blades curves I hear that they got in the shop. So puck comes out now for the Inferno, and now with it is Jesse Thompson, who sent it out looking for Dow, who just kept that away from Ruddle momentarily. Jackson Lane takes a shot. Where is it? It's in the breadbasket there of Austin Lefkowitz.
Yeah, Lefkowitz with a good save there. That was one of those awkward bounces that just like a half volley right in front of him in his sight line, and those things can just pop over your stick and go right through the 5-hole if you're not careful. It was a good save there.
Okay, here we come for the face-off. Face-off won by the Inferno, back to the point. Oh, bobbling in front. So Kahu Joyce puts up the boards. Doesn't quite get out of the zone. Karp's looking for the big pass up. Oh, and he makes it. Hard shot from in close from Kahu.
Joyce there doing that long stretch pass, looking for those opportunities and finding them.
Yeah, it's definitely part of the play for the Dogs.
So here's a shot there, deflected in front, but a save there by Woodlands, who just covers up, and Ryan Ruddle is frustrated as he felt he was being held by the stick of Jackson Lane, who gives him a little bit of a wry smile.
Again, talking about teammates from other teams playing against each other, that's a prime example.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I played a game in Beer League against Ryan Ruddle, and I made a save on him, and they blew the whistle a little bit early, and he was very, very frustrated. I think he likes scoring goals no matter what division, what game. He's just an absolute gamer.
Just under 1 minute to go in the first, and the score's all tied up at 1 goal apiece.
Alrighty, so the Inferno have the puck in their own zone now, but a forecheck there by Campbell forced the puck into the corner. That's going to come out. Oh no, kept in by Inspector Gadget, Mr.
Corey Stringer with those long arms and reach. You weren't getting over his head.
So here's Logan Ewell just keeping the puck away from Astafiev, but in the end, Astafiev wins out with the puck as two Inferno run into one another. Puck now comes to Stringer, who sent that up for Campbell, but off a stick is going to allow the Inferno to come the other way, and who else but Hayden Dawes sending it over to Logan Ewell. Dawes going in front, but a little deflection off a Dog defender.
Nice work there, Corey Stringer, to lift up Dawes' stick and deny it.
Dawes now, he'll just throw that in, and that he was looking for a deflection from Ewell as he goes behind the net looking for a pass. Puck now out, there's 3 seconds left, one shot, and it's just a little wide, and that's going to rim down the rest of the way.
So at the end of the first period, we're all tied up at 1 goal apiece. Shots on the net so far. We have 8 to the Inferno and 10 to the Dogs, and as we know, that's not a particularly telling statistic usually, but it's a pretty good read of the game. It's been very even so far. The Inferno's defence has been up to the task thus far. Hayden Dawes, the first goal scorer, assisted by Jesse Thompson with 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go. And the second goal by Jamie Burke, none other than with the assist by Vajasov and Schuma. And that was with about 4.5 minutes to go in the first. A pretty backwards and forwards game. It's had a bit of everything so far. And the boys keeping their composure. And we're seeing some pretty good play, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. No, again, there's a lot of pressure coming from both teams. I think the Dogs have more of the run of the play though, and again they're looking for those big stretch passes. I'd like to see the Inferno again, as Gossi pointed out at the start, play a bit more physically and use some of that speed with some of the younger players to take it round on the outside. I feel like a lot of the shots from the Inferno have been on the weak side, out near the boards. I'd like to see them getting a bit busier in front of the net.
That's an artifact there of the Dogs' defence. They're particularly good at owning that space in front of the net, not giving you enough room to really get those shots away. And the only one who's really been able to penetrate that with great effectiveness has been Hayden Dawes. And we just saw an attempt there by him, which was just shut down very nicely by Corey Stringer, who's about the same height, maybe not quite the same breadth as Dawsey. But he certainly got there and lifted his stick up and prevented him getting a good shot away. And that's what they need to do. If they can keep him out wide, give Leskovitz good angles to protect, and that's going to be a really good trick for the Dogs to keep the Inferno from scoring.
Byron Tashuma would be wondering what he needs to do to score a goal. This game could be very different. There were 2 opportunities, one on either side of the doorsteps, right? One on the right and one on the left. One hit his skate, and he just wasn't able to get a stick on it, and the other one was just a fan there. You know, this could be a 3-1 game.
Yeah, he is still the #1 point scorer throughout the league thus far, with Liam Webster and Matt Karuna and Kahu and Jamie just behind him. In fact, Jamie would now be on 10 points as well.
Yeah, well, there's few people that enjoy playing hockey more than Byron Tashuma. He loves zipping it around on the ice, and you know he's led the beer league scoring so many times here in iceHQ as well. But we're underway here in the second period in a 1-all draw between the Dogs and the Inferno. Puck comes back for Lockie Walls, who takes a shot, and that's saved there by Woodlands. Troy Robertson
with a nice low shot, keeping it low, looking for those deflections.
Yeah, it comes back now, and that's Burke with the shot, and that was Troy Robertson looking for a deflection. So that was Berkey and Robertson just having a little bit of a switch.
So you can see there the nice play that they're doing out there from on the point is keeping that shot low. It means that the goalie can't see it down to man traffic in the legs. You're more likely to get deflections, and if they do come in, quite often you get a nice juicy rebound as well.
Yeah, you look on the CCM all-out replay, well, Seb Woodlands was way out on the top of the crease, and that's exactly where you want to be if you're a goaltender. Puck comes out, and you know we've seen often when it's been an even game, the Dogs come back hard in the second period. They're a good second period team, and they've started so far now with all offensive zone, and that nearly went in. But Seb Woodlands made a great save. It's come back to the point and a shot. Another save there. That knocked the stick right out of the hands of Woodlands. And it's interesting here. We see Robertson having a foray deep again, and Jamie Burke last man back. So here's Jesse Thompson. Nearly one-on-one on Berkey, but Lockie Walls, great back check, able to knock that stick away.
We haven't seen an exceptional volume of shots on either goalie, but I think the quality of shots against Seb Woodland has been really high. He's made some astounding saves so far.
Yeah, very, very skilled. No luck in it, right, Carl?
Never. Goalies are never lucky. It's 100% skill every time.
So here we are. Troy Robertson has the puck. He's going to send that up. He was looking for Verjasov, but that hit the stick there of Lane, and now he comes out with the puck for the Inferno. That nice cross-ice pass for McDowell. He winds, takes a shot, but again, right into the chest of Austin Lefkowitz. And again, just looking at these goalies, watch this on the CCM all-out replay. That shot comes into the chest of Austin Lefkowitz. And if you watch, he just moves his back and he's able to corral that and keep that in the breadbasket.
And let's not forget too, Gossy,
Very
that shot was
important.
taken from a bad angle. It was from a long way out, and the goalie had a pretty easy routine save there to make.
Yeah, just really important, just highlighting there the importance of not giving up rebounds, right? And how to use your body possession. But there's a shot, and off the blocking arm of Lefkowitz. That shot by McKenzie was earmarked for first. And look at Austin. He's giving it to him. He's like, you're hitting my blocker, bud. Oh, I love that.
And that's a dangerous shot there because it's right in that prime scoring shot, and the goalie has a lot more ground to cover.
Alrighty, so face-off here, won by McDowell. He's going to collect that now. And out with it is Kahu Joyce. So Joyce for the Dogs, takes that into the offensive zone. Wines takes a shot off the shoulder there of Woodlands and squirts out here now to the high slot. That's Davey Barrett sending it deep. The backhand by Ruddle caroms off Alex Rosen. It's back to Ruddle, who takes a one-timer, but off a stick of the defender and into the netting.
And so far throughout this series, Ruddle hasn't really hit his stride. He was very effective over the Pacific last season for the Ducks. This season throughout the Pro League, he hasn't really been quite as effective as we know that he can be. I'm waiting for him to have a breakout game. Maybe this will be it.
Yeah, there's there's few names I like to call more than when they score a goal. Ryan Ruddle. But you're right. You know, he hasn't hit it too many times this year. I mean, you look back, he's had a number of great scoring opportunities, and if you're a player that hasn't scored a lot, you want to make sure you're getting chances, and at least he's getting those chances there for the Dogs. So Carpenter now with it here. He just corrals that and sends that up for Carpenter, but he wasn't able to collect that, which is going to allow the Inferno to come back the other way, 2-on-2. It's Turner trying to walk around Trevor Leo. Such a smart defender, the American there.
Beautiful poke check there by Leo, just breaking down that attack.
And he's going to send it around. And, Trevor Leo now also working in the pro shop. So if you want to go have a chat, he's there. You can sharpen your skates, give you a recommendation on a stick or a new pair of gloves, or just tell you how to stop some of the best scorers in Australia. Here's Stringer now sending that up, but not able to get it in. And Drake just sends that deep to allow his team to change. And again, over the boards now comes the goal scorer for the Inferno, Hayden Dawes. Dean Klomp claps it, looking for Dawsey, but collected here by Stringer, and he goes up with speed. It's 2-on-2. Corey Stringer on the backhand, takes it behind the net. He's looking for someone to give it to, but no one there as Dean Klomp comes and collects the puck. That's intercepted there by Tashuma, who shoots it, but a blocking arm saved by Woodlands.
With a prime opportunity there that the Inferno really shouldn't have let in at.
Puck now with Klomp as he just regroups that to the other corner. The forecheck on heavy by this Dogs line, and with it now is Verjasov over to Burke, looking for Tashuma, but Dean Klomp, as he's done all season, just takes that away.
It's a big shift for Klomp.
Here's Tashuma in front. Ooh, and Jamie Burke just stuffed that wide. Here's Robinson with a shot deflected over into the corner for Verjasov. It just seems the Dogs are everywhere right now, doesn't it, boys?
Yeah, Inferno have been out for a long time on this defensive press. They'd be pretty tired.
Yeah, second period and being in a defensive zone for this long is really hard on the players. And Klomp, as you said, he's made some big plays, but he's going to be exhausted. He needs to get off the ice.
And that was another one of those great plays as he intercepted that, but an exhausted Inferno player just sends it down.
So if you're not familiar with the rule here, if you ice the puck in this division, then you are not allowed to get a change as a defensive team. So the Dogs can all get fresh legs. And the Inferno, those boys have been out there for a while. They have to back it up and keep going.
Not saying this happens, but this would be a very convenient time for Seb Woodland's pad to need some fixing, eh?
Goalies would never cheat.
So puck comes out into the corner, and first to it's going to be Klomp as he keeps that away from Verjasov, and he'll now try to send that out, but that hit a Dogs player, and Hayden Dawes now collects it behind the net. Inferno have to be very careful not to ice this one, right? Because they definitely need the change, and that's going to allow only 3 of them to go, and Dean Klomp's still out on the ice. You know that Canadian's got a big tank on him.
What Dawsey was actually doing was he was slowing down the play there to give everyone an opportunity to actually get off, but I just think someone didn't actually read the instruction. They stayed on.
Yeah, so
just a little bit of miscommunication there from some of the younger guys, but they're here to learn.
Yeah, I got half a change at least, and it looks like now as Jesse Thompson comes out, Klomp will finally be able to get a change. And here's Thompson in front. Oh, and a great stop there by Robertson as Lee Turner was crashing the net. Turner able to find Thompson as he battles up against walls, and now the puck comes to the Ryan Ruddle. He sends it up for Davey Barrett, and here he comes, Davey Barrett on the wing. Wines takes a shot, and a save there by Woodlands as that caroms out over into the corner.
That was some fine defensive play there earlier by Bennett. Not Bennett. By Troy Robinson. They're just cutting off that line for the Inferno and giving them no opportunity to get in close to the net, forcing them wide and having to go around the back of the net. So excellent defensive play, beautiful management of distance. It's those things that define games.
So face-off here to the left of Seb Woodlands, and that was a quick shot by Campbell, but great save there. That's a positional save by Woodlands. Super important to hear on the strong side for Fisher. He wants to win that right back to Campbell. So really important if you're the defender just to pressure up and be able to hit that player there. But here come the Inferno. It's Hayden Dawes now on the wing. Looks in front, shot! Oh! That was Alex Rose with a great pass by Dawsey, but not able to put the puck in the net. Puck comes back, nice move by McDowell. Back to the point for Dawes, but he gets blocked. And here comes the defenseman, Jack Carpenter, deep in the Inferno zone, but blows a tire, which is going to allow Bellick to get that out, but almost kept in by the interception there by the
Carpenter looked like he got a bit stuck there against the boards with his stick perhaps and lost a little bit of speed. And he's getting off a little bit gingerly off the ice.
I was thinking the same.
Hurt himself.
Yeah, I think he was arguing with the ref that red line on the board should have got 2 minutes for hooking.
Something tripped him up.
So puck now comes in here to the corner. That could have been the shot block as well. You never know, right? That was a shot by Dawsey. Oh, in front there for McKenzie. It was a shot by Dawsey that he did block to allow him to have that break. And we know Dawsey doesn't have a soft shot, that's for sure.
He gets a fair bit on the puck, that's for sure.
So puck now.
That could well have been it. He certainly doesn't look very happy at the moment.
Puck in the corner. Walking out is McKenzie, and it drops down. But first to it is Troy Robertson as he curls away from his number there and looks to send that up to Astafiev, who just drops it back. And he'll go skate and pick it up in his corner as the Inferno decide to make wholesale changes. That stretch pass looking for Verjasov, intercepted by Klomp, and you can see the Inferno have switched on to that. There's been a number of interceptions. You mentioned it earlier, Scott, that was a play, but they seem to be switched on.
Yeah, no, the Inferno have read that now, and they seem like, again, Berkey and Vadim are doing it all night, and they seem to be aware of it, which, again, is very experienced defensemen on the Inferno side, so they know what this play is like and how to counteract it.
So here come the Inferno now looking for a goal. If you remember, they led 1-0 here. But then the Dogs answered. It was Hayden Dawes for the Inferno and Jamie Burke for the Dogs as Seb Woodland sends that up and now out. Only momentarily as Byron Tashuma is going to bring it in for the Dogs. He's going to shield the puck. He's got Burke going to the net and Vadim just hanging at the top of the circles. But Dean Klomp for the Inferno will collect it now and he'll send that high, but not out. Robertson winds, takes a shot and off the shaft of Seb Woodland's stick.
He saw net there.
Oh, definitely. He made that great hand-eye coordination just to drop that in, walked in, and that top shelf blocker side was wide open.
Robinson
if it weren't for the stick.
Had a good shield there too for a screen involuntarily by Klomp, who managed to get himself a little bit in the way too. So extra points to Woodlands there for that save. He was blindsided.
Yeah, definitely. You have to remember every piece of your equipment is so important as a goaltender as you try to stop this tiny frozen rubber puck from going in. But here's a 2-on-0. Thompson going, Dawes not able to put that in. Jesse just couldn't get the puck over fast enough, and by the time it hit the stick of Dawes, there just wasn't any time. Burke drops that to Tashuma, very reminiscent of that goal earlier by Burke, but this time collects it behind the net.
That previous little opportunity was Ryan Bennett just pinching up a little bit high. He does like to try and get that high hit.
Adams looking for it, one-timer, but saved there by Woodlands.
So you're Ryan Bennett, he does like to go for that high hit occasionally, and when he lines it up and he misses it, it does create a big gap behind him that quite often results in those attacking opportunities. And the Dogs a bit lucky there. Dawes not able to put away that little redirecting front net. It was a beautiful pass to him. He's not quite able to finish it off.
So Minsum on the face-off dot, ready for the drop. Inferno win. McDowell creating some space. He's got space here. He's moving up. Just out of reach of Austin McKenzie. Good pressure. Inferno 2 men on. Dog get possession back. Just throw it up and unfortunately can't keep it in the zone.
6 minutes to play in the second period. We're still a 1-1 piece to the Dogs and the Inferno all tied up.
Corey Stringer sent it in front to Ruddle, who takes a shot and saved there by Woodlands.
A golden opportunity there for Ruddle. He just hasn't been able to connect on those ones.
No, it's normally where Ruddle wants to sit as well. That's where he gets all of his goals in the dirty areas. He doesn't mind getting a bit rough. Up the wing, possession straight in front of the net. Couldn't quite get a stick to it. And again, Austin's looking dangerous all night tonight. Another shot on net. Steve Belk overcommitted. It's 2-on-1. 4-on-1. And there you go.
Ryan Ruddle! Ask and you shall receive, Carl Brewer. Ryan Ruddle on the doorstep. Absolutely pockets that one in the back of the net as they take the 2-1 lead.
Hopefully we'll get to see on the replay why that happened. And you got that exactly right, Scott. It was a high challenge, a pinch in by Steve Bellick, who left the gap behind him. He was not quite able to get that. If you're a defenseman and you're going in for that pinch, you've got to be 100% sure that you get the puck, especially against a team like the Dogs.
And it's
let them get behind you. That happens. And finally...
Yeah, it's all about using those angles too. As you mentioned, Scott, it ended up being a 4-on-1, and Davey Barrett dropped it, which opened up that lane over for Ruddle. And, you know, as a goaltender, Seb Woodlands, you got to respect the shot, and there's no way you're going to be able to get across to a wide-open Ryan Ruddle, who made no mistake. So who else hasn't scored in a while, Carl? Mention their name, and maybe they'll get another one tonight.
The one thing you're wondering with it being 4-on-1 is that because Inferno is starting to run out of gas. You got to get back, and you got to back check, and to be 4-1, that should never happen in hockey.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you get those opportunities, you commit men forward, but you got to make sure you can get back just on time. And I think, as you said, that's probably what happened. And these dogs, they take quick changes, they keep the energy up. And if you're the Inferno, you're going to want to keep these shifts short and get one back soon. And there it is, nearly. Oh, saved by Lefkowitz, as Chris Drake nearly had a backdoor pass put in there by Dawes.
Dawes, again, is the player for the Inferno who's the most threatening in their attack. And the Dogs know that. They know to cover him up and make sure he gets limited opportunities. And if they can do that, then the Inferno, not entirely a one-pronged attack, but that's mostly what they have. And they a little bit more versatility in their attack would make a big difference for them as a team.
So nice silky moves here by Burke as he sends it over to Shuma. He sent that in front. That goes high in the air. And first to see it is Vadim Verjasov. Back to Burke, over to his buddy Robertson. Looking for Burke again, who bats it out of the air. And now a cross-ice pass for Bennett comes out of the zone after a nice stick there by Drake. And he's going to look for a change as Jesse Thompson, or Kevin Dowsoy, hops over the bench.
Bennett a little bit lucky there with that.
Verjasov cuts in front. Saved there by Woodlands. It was available momentarily until he closed the legs.
Bennett took a pretty high risky cross-ice pass there. Just a little bit lucky that the Inferno didn't manage to steal an intercept. He wants to be a little bit mindful of those ones. It's great when it works. It's a pretty risky pass to take. You won't see it on the replay here, but if you're watching on YouTube and you can rewind a little bit, just watch what happens there with that cross-ice pass and how lucky they were that Inferno didn't pick it off.
Well, the Dogs are up to 23 shots now, and Scott, you mentioned it early. They've all been very dangerous opportunities. That was Tashuma just deflecting that one, but Woodlands was up to the task.
Just under 2.5 minutes to go. The Dogs are out to a 2-1 lead here in the second period.
Face-off won by the Dogs, wind up by Burke, and fans on it. Takes a shot now, but that hits the blocker save there of Woodlands. Jesse Thompson blows a tire, but he gets support there from Dow as 4 people battle there, but it's going to come out to Burke, who looks to just play a little catch, and it comes out now, but the Inferno able to collect it through Jesse Thompson, who just reverses it over to Kevin Dow. Dow sends it across, kicked off by Turner, but Vadim, being in the neutral zone, has to reverse to allow his team to change or to get onside. Berkey will just push back, and Robertson's wide open calling for it, but nice little sauce over there to his buddy Vadim.
Yeah, cheeky little pass there by Berkey. He had the puck on the string.
Ooh, dangerous there. You know, the great forecheck of Jesse Thompson, and he wins that to allow Kevin Dow to come back. Great job by Thompson, and it looks like he'll be getting a penalty now, but as Verjasov, body slams onto Dow, the whistle goes, and we'll see if it'll be what the call will be finally.
Steve Bellick having a bit of a chat there to Craig Armstrong-Frey, the referee, about the finer points of the penalty.
Yeah,
so it looks like it's just going to be the one to the Inferno. So that puts the Dogs on to the first power play for the day. With by the time everything gets sorted out, they'll probably only have about 30 seconds or so of power play at the end of this second, and they'll go into the long break.
2-minute hooking penalty for Kevin Dow there is what's been called.
Yep.
So let's see what happens with the power play.
It's a shame because that all started off one hell of a forecheck by Jesse Thompson. He chased down Vadim Verjasov, and it looks like Vadim's going to go as well. And we won't see the replay, but just at the end of that, he kind of fell down on Dow, and I think he might be getting 2 for roughing.
It did look a little bit deliberate rather than accidental fall. So that'll be 4-on-4, and it looks like we'll probably only have about 10 seconds of 4-on-4 in this period, and then we'll go into the long break. And we will have 4-on-4.
Yeah, I don't think the puck's going to get dropped.
What are the chances that? Look, that's a smart job by Stringer, just wondering how it's going, and then Berkey doesn't know. They know exactly what they're doing. They're just killing the clock.
And at the end of the second period, an interesting little last 45, 50 seconds of that, with both teams earning themselves a little bit of time in the naughty corner. We'll be going into the break with the Dogs 2, the Inferno 1. Shots on the net so far. Hayden Dawes with the first goal in the first period after 6 minutes and 50. Jamie Burke following up for the Dogs to level it out. Then Ryan Ruddle finally breaks a bit of a drought that he's had of late and stuck in a nice sneaky goal there with about 5 minutes to go after an overpowering break of a 4-on-1 for the Dogs. It's 14 shots to the Inferno to 25 to the Dogs throughout that period, throughout the game. 8 to 10 in the first period, 6 to 15. So the second period, all Dogs, much more dominant in that second period. So we're going to go now to the long break. We will be back with you at 8:35 for the third period.
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way.
The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
You know.
Welcome back to the iceHQ Ice Arena here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia for round 8, game 1, period 3. It'll be starting off with both teams on a penalty. So it'll be, I think, probably 4-on-4, but we'll find out what the referees have decided about that in just a moment.
Just to recap there at the end, right? Those 2 penalties. There was 15, 20 seconds left with the puck drafting and professional little play there by the Dogs. But as the players were skating off, Hayden Dawes was standing at the bench, staring down every single one of those Dogs. And here's Vadim talking to the officials, just wondering why he's getting the extra 2. But I'll tell you what, at this point, Crowther's not going to change his mind.
No, he's not. It did look a little bit like a wrestling move when he fell on him and fell. We put that fell in quotes. It did look a touch contrived. So Vadim, I think, deserves a penalty. Well, no doubt he disagrees, but that's bad luck. So the referees decide reality and we're just spectators. So we're going to get underway with a 2-1 lead to the Inferno. Now, the Inferno want to win this. It gives them a real fighting chance to get themselves through the semi-finals with less drama. But the Dogs, they want to win it because they want to get first place in the ladder and not have to play a semi-final at all. So there's a lot at stake for both of these teams. It's going to be on in the third.
4-on-4, you think is going to favor the speed of the Doggies, but without his good mate Vadim, you never know. Let's take it away, Scott.
Doggies get possession, switch over to the other D. Looking for the outlet pass. Lots of ice out there, 4-on-4 hockey. Taking his time. Oh, nice pass up to the middle to Berkey. Takes over the line, slows it down a bit, cutting across. Oh, nice hands. Pass over wide. Drop pass. Taking the shot. Yes. Good pressure on the net. Doggies got possession back. Pass up wide to the wing. Baron Stuma coming in, dropping in. Inferno have possession again.
That was Wall taking that shot there for the Dogs.
Oh,
David Burke gets clipped.
Jackson Lane
By Lane, but gets
looks
away
like
with
an
it.
accidental hit, but Berkey was not happy with that.
Not happy.
Inferno taking advantage though. They're moving the puck around well. Need to get some shots on net though. You can't score if you don't shoot.
We saw in that second period the Dogs dominated the shooting. They were starting to get a bit of a rush, and here they get a chance up through the middle.
And here comes Troy Robertson, defenseman, on a breakaway. Nice move shot. Oh, it just shoots wide. He froze Seb Woodlands, but couldn't find Twine as he looked to go top shelf.
30 seconds to go on
pass
the
over to Stringer. Keeps it in the zone. Just still in. Seb comes out of the net. Sends up the boards.
That was out.
Play the whistle, boys, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
This is end-to-end hockey here with 4-on-4. Not as fast as I would have expected it to be. I thought both teams would be coming out hard, but they're taking their time looking for the passes.
So here comes the great white shark, Hayden Dawes, and he touches that up. The Inferno with 5 players on the ice. It's going to be too many men, and just as the penalties are about to expire,
that'll give the Dogs a power play now for 2 minutes. Because on the drop of the puck, the 2 players can come in from their penalties, but then the Inferno will have one straight away in the box for the too many men violation.
I was surprised with 4-on-4 that Dawsey wasn't on the ice at all for that whole penalty.
So just a little chat here, and it looks like Logan Ewell will go over for the Inferno, and the Dogs are going to be on the power play momentarily here. 4-on-3, and then both Dow and Verjasov will come out at puck drop.
So watch if the Inferno can get the puck away in this face-off up back. You can see the Dogs just watching out for that.
And Burke now will just corral it, wait for his man to get on, and who else but Vadim Verjasov comes out in front to Burke, takes the shot, what a save! Seb Woodlands to get across and make the pad save, much to the approval of Logan Ewell sitting that bench minor. Burke now walks up there on the half wall, he takes that deep, looks cross seam over for Verjasov, he corrals, takes a shot, it's in the air, and batted out of the air by Tashuma, but right on the stop was there Craig Armstrong, and that's going to be called back for high stick.
Yeah, they waved that one off. The scorer is a little bit keen with the lights, but no goal.
No hesitation by Craig there.
Nah, it is very hard as a player when the puck is in the air to wait for that to drop because you just want to get stick on it, right?
This little bit of time too is eating into that power play for the Dogs. They want to stop arguing with the referees.
Berkey doesn't like it, but Byron wasn't arguing too much. He's shaking his head, but he wasn't arguing too much. I think he knows that
shaking
was
his head
a
with a
little
smile
high.
on his face.
Yeah. So nearly a power play goal, but taken back on the high stick, and the Dogs will be forced to gain.
And under a minute to go now on the penalty.
Possession again, and here is the Estonian Vadim Verjasov walking in over the line. Great job with the strength of his stick to keep that away from those stick checks. Now Klomp will get it, and he'll hit that high and down the ice to the nice stick taps there of Logan Yule, who's sitting the penalty.
Berkey hanging high again. Hoping to sneak behind the D.
Going to look for that stretch pass. Jackson Lane just looks over his shoulder and sees him. And Vadim Verjasov now will look for him. He drops it there for Tashuma, who's going to come in with speed. Klomp's watching him, though. He'll curl back, but Klomp pins him to the boards and allows Jackson Lane to come support. 3 Inferno here battling against 2 Doggies. It now comes out to Carpenter, who leaves it there for Verjasov as he swaps positions there with Jamie Burke. Carpenter back to Burke. Probably back to Carpenter now is a good option, but he's going to reverse here. He's got Lockie Walls, who's pinched, and with 5 back on now, Tashuma in front, over to Verjasov, and another toe save there by Woodlands. He has been playing lights out tonight. It could easily be 3, 4, or 5 for the Dogs, but he's giving his team a chance to win.
Tashuma was just caught there, a little bit back-footed on that pass across through the slot. He had a nice opportunity, but elected to take the pass, which was probably the right choice in the end. He couldn't get a shot from where he was standing.
Create some space here, and he walks in, takes a soft shot, just deflected into the corner by Woodlands, and that's going to rim around and go all the way down as that was off a Dog stick.
No icing called, though.
So Bennett behind his own net just reverses it over to the wall for the goal scorer, Ryan Ruddle. It was his goal there in the second period that put the Dogs up 2-1 on a gaping net after a 4-on-1 by the Dogs.
Dawes back on the ice at the moment. If you're not aware of it, Dawes does come down here every day from Friday from Canberra. So he's had a lot of travelling. It does put a bit of fatigue in your legs.
That shows the dedication and the love for the sport, if you ask me.
It certainly does, but he will also be a little bit tired.
Ooh, so that was a pass across looking for Barrett, who's going to send that back for Stringer. He's going to reverse that back to Barrett. And he's looking across for Ruddle. Ruddle on the backhand, and the Kiwi not able to put the puck on net. He cycles it down for Davey Barrett, though, who finds Ruddle now. Ruddle with a shot off the side of the net, back behind the net for Stringer. Reverses it for Ruddle. He's got Barrett. It just bounces off his stick, but another shot saved there by Woodlands.
Inferno just cannot get possession of this puck.
They'll hopefully get it out now through Hayden Dawes, and he does as he looks to find Alex Rose walking in over the line. He goes down. No hand up, though.
Nice check there by Bennett. Making sure of it. That time the high challenge worked.
So Bennett now has the puck. He's going to just reverse it back over to Leo. Leo's going to hit that off the wall, but Klomp there first. And he just chips that up there for Jesse Thompson, who got his stick lifted by Fisher just at the end there, which allowed Bennett able to pick up that puck.
Fisher had to be careful there because if he got possession too early, that would have been too many men on.
Great job there. He gets rubbed out by Jackson Lane, and Dean Klomp, number 77 here for the Inferno, collects the puck and sends that cross ice over for Turner. There's a little bit of a fall there for Robertson, and the boys are giving him a hard time from the Inferno. Bench and Turner with a shot, but a glove save there by the big American Austin Lefkowitz.
As easy it is to sympathise a little bit with Robertson there. What he needed to do was a little bit less theatrics and a bit more get back in the game. While he's doing that, his team's 5-on-4 if he's lying down on the bench wasting time like that. You've got to get back up and get back into it. Let the referees do their job. He should know better.
Face-off drop. Coming back to the point. Quick shot on net. Wide. So Doggies defence have possession. Moving up. Pushing hard to the net. Good shot and nice save there by Seb Woodlands.
That knocked his stick right out of his hand. And luckily the puck comes out.
Interference call there by Craig on
Luke Fisher, it looks
Fisher.
like. So, one thing I think we should be talking about is the blue line and the red line should probably have 2 or 3 tripping penalties here tonight, right? A couple times the boys have been falling over there.
They've done a pretty good job. They're learning from our C2 beginner program here, where those lines are very much a trip hazard. It happens in B3 as well, I can tell you for free.
There you go. Doesn't matter how often you play.
I've seen you fall on your backside as well a couple of times, Gossie.
Oh, man, I got a new Sharpen the other day, and I absolutely ate.
Oh, yeah, it's a Sharpen. It's always a Sharpen.
Yeah. Definitely not the player.
No,
always the equipment.
That's going to go. No icing.
This is a big power play, though, for Inferno. They need to get this one back.
Yeah, and hopefully get some pressure. You know, the dangerous thing with the Dogs is they always put out Verjasov and Burke to start off the penalty kill. And if they get the puck, they can come the other way just like this. And Carpenter joins the rush. So there's 3 Dogs, but just not able to thread the needle was Jamie Burke to his good friend Jack Carpenter.
Maybe they're looking to emulate what the Bruins over in the NHL did today, if you haven't heard of it. Bad luck on the spoilers. They got 2 short-handed goals on the 1 power play.
Short-handed goals all over in the NHL, and just shows, you know, you got to be careful when you take that pressure. Just understand that it can come back the other way. And here's Jamie Burke taking the puck, and he's going to take that all the way back and kill some time. And the Dogs putting on a clinic at the moment for a penalty kill. Troy Robertson takes a shot, but kicked out by Woodland straight to Dawsey, and he'll take that in the other way. He sends that cross ice over for Woodland, who drops it for McKenzie, and the big Canadian falls down, but no call.
Berkey a little bit lucky to get away with that, but possibly a little bit of Dawes putting it on a little bit more. Who knows?
Here's Verjasov in the slot, takes a shot, saved there by Woodlands. I'll tell you what, that's something we do not see often. Hayden Dawes getting knocked down on the ground, right?
The last thing you want to do is fire up Dawsey.
If he gets a head of steam up and gets a bit of fire in his belly, he can be pretty intimidating kind of a guy. But Jamie Burke, not someone who'll ever take it back down. But Clonf now getting a penalty.
Yeah, if you look,
that's going to go the other way for the Dogs.
If you look here, he's getting 2 for roughing, and that was just the Dogs' great penalty kill. All that pressure. Verjasov had a great scoring opportunity. Then he and Clonf just got tied up a little bit there in the circle.
Timeout called by the
Clomp's
Dogs.
going to be going.
So Dogs calling a timeout now just to get themselves organised. They've got 5 seconds to go on their penalty on Fisher. And then they'll have a 1 minute and 55-second power play to see if they can get another goal in. We saw them do that excellent penalty kill just before, a lot of aggression, taking a shot up, taking the puck up.
The Dogs
not giving the Inferno a chance.
Yeah, the Dogs can sense that this is an opportunity. They had Verjasov and Burke hard on that penalty kill, but with only 5 seconds left on the Dogs penalty, they know they're going to get a power play, and I would imagine the guys coming over the bench are going to be Verjasov and Burke as they know with a 1-goal game, this can come back fairly quickly, and they would have a little bit of a memory of a few weeks ago when they lost in the shootout to the Inferno. They're going to want to put this to bed now with 7 minutes remaining.
The other thing too there, Gossie, is that they would have grabbed that minute just for a little bit more recovery time, so those 2 guys could get back on and stay on.
Exactly.
I don't think there was much talk going on the bench. It was more breathing.
Interesting. Troy Robertson's on the right wing for this face-off with Berkey and D.
Very interesting. He'll probably be the net front presence, I would imagine, here for the Dogs. And it comes back to Lockie Walls, who winds, takes a shot, but off the stick of Lee Turner and into the netting.
And this is where we'll see the Inferno try and put the brakes on a little bit, but they can't afford to. They need to score some goals. They need to score at least 1 goal to get themselves back in.
Take a look on the CCM All-Out replay. You'll see here what the penalty was for, and it was that little joust by Klomp at the end there that got him the 2 minutes for roughing. So puck comes back. Robertson on the point now. He'll send that down to Verjasov in the corner. Sending it across, looking for Burke, but chipped out there by Drake all the way down the length of the ice. Lockie Wall's also on the power play here for the Dogs. He's got a wicked shot. I've seen him go bar down quite a few times in this rink. So always dangerous. But here's Vadim Verjasov. Nice little toe drag. But a great save there by Woodlands.
You can see there the Dogs getting a real wind-up from distance, and when they attack with speed, it's a much better attacking strategy rather than trying to set up a static, slow movement across the blue line. If they can move in with speed and try and drag the Inferno out, that creates more opportunities for them in the attacking zone in the end. And we saw Verjasov take advantage of that.
So Vadim and Dawsey face off. Vadim wins it right back to Jamie Burke. He'll corral that and send it across over to Troy Robertson. Robertson winds, looks across seam for Walls, who sends it back to Burke. Burke winds up, takes a shot right into the chest of Seb Woodlands.
He was looking there for the tip-in or the screen by Schumer, but it wasn't quite enough. We'll have about 25 seconds of this power play to go on the puck drop. It's been pretty good for the Dogs, but they haven't been able to convert it yet.
Change of face-off, but no different result. Vadim won that back, but so clean that Jamie Burke wasn't able to keep that in. So with 10 seconds remaining, the Dogs had some chances but weren't able to pounce. Although, speak too soon, here comes Burke to Verjasov, back to Burke, but a nice poke check there by Hayden Dawes as he pins Berkey up against the wall.
Corm's looking for a big stretch pass in the distance. The Dogs not quite alert to it because he's come back on after the penalty.
Back there in a deflection, that's going to go into the netting, and we'll have a face-off with just over 5 minutes remaining, a 2-1 game.
With a score sitting like this, when do you think the Inferno are going to pull their goalie, needing this goal?
Well, a conservative coach would pull them off with about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. But if you're bold, you can pull them earlier. It does usually give you a better chance. But, of course, there's a big risk associated with it as well.
Oh, and it's coming out wide open. How did that not go in? Seb Woodlands, I believe, got a piece of that as Corey Stringer had a gaping cage. Here come the Inferno down the other way. Nice little pirouette.
Possession.
But in with it is the man with the silver gloves, Davey Barrett, sending it across over to Stringer, looking to put that in front. To answer your question as well, I think the Inferno are going to try to get as many opportunities as they can now because they know when they pull that goalie, there's a great chance it's going to come back the other way. But here it is, so much time, so much space, but nothing that can beat the glove of Seb Woodlands, who is having a pretty good game so far here tonight, eh, Carl?
He's made a lot of quality saves, that's for sure. Something that the Inferno are certainly missing.
He hit the post
this evening. They are certainly missing out on Hector Vrilnak. He's not here this evening, and so that combination that they've had really has left most of their attack up to Big Dorsey here. He's done a lot of work. Just can't do it on your own.
Alrighty, so face-off won by the Inferno as they load up this line here. Both Klomp and Dawes on the ice. Jesse Turner, he's always got the jets. He's going to go chase, and we saw him forecheck very well, and he falls down and just smart not to knock it in. And Carpenter knocks over his own teammate there, but first to it was Luke Fisher as he gets it down.
A good recovery by the Dogs from that little bit of confusion.
Puck comes up, it's Jesse Thompson there, gets it out to the point, kept in by Leo, who sends that down to Astafiev. Kept in there by Fisher, who gets knocked down, and the puck will finally get out off the stick of Hayden Dawes.
With just over 3 minutes now to go, we're still 2 goals to the Dogs, 1 to the Inferno. The pressure's on the Inferno, watching them to pull the goalie any second.
Here we go, so Jesse Thompson wins that one. He's being chased back by Fisher, and that's just a little offside. What do you think, Scott? Just under 3 minutes remaining. Stop time now. What do you need to see from the Inferno if they're going to get one back?
We need Inferno to get possession and start making some plays up the ice. All they're doing is getting out the zone, and they're not really getting up there and into the offensive zone and getting some quality chances, and that's what they need to do.
So face off here. It's the big line out for the Dogs. Vadim Verjasov with it, looking to get it across for Tashuma, but a great stick there by Rose. Logan Ewell will send that up to Turner, who will take that in. He's being watched by Robertson. Tried to get it through, but Robertson had a great stick. That's for sure. Batted out of the air by Rose. Otherwise, you would have had a half break there for Verjasov. Shot in by Tashuma. And we're getting down to the last chance saloon, or as Carl likes to call it, Dawes time.
It is Dawes time. This is where he scores his clutch goals, but he's going to have to work hard to do it. He hasn't had that many opportunities, and the Dogs have shut him down well and truly. 2 minutes and 17 seconds to play. 2 goals to Dogs, 1 to the Inferno, the lead.
Here's Burke now, high slot, walks in, wine shot, save, gloves off, and he's calling for the official as Seb Woodlands had his blocker knocked out of his hand, and
so we're
with the
time
shot.
now.
I think Jamie Burke, just on that CCM replay, he's arguing that Woodlands threw it, but I think what happened when, I think it was Tashuma that came in through, he just knocked the blocker off a little bit, and it was enough that Woodlands just needed to get that off his hand to make sure he didn't get injured.
Stop time too, which is to the advantage of the Inferno. They are down, and they need as much time as they can get to get that goal that they need.
Puck comes out over, it's Byron Tashuma. He looks in front of Verjasov, who just deflects that one wide. There was daylight, but the big Hayden Dawes collects the puck now, and he'll take that out. Sends it over to McDowell, who pips it across over to McKenzie. McKenzie, one-on-one there with the Dogs defender. Sends it in front, but intercepted and lofted high into the Inferno zone. Now, it's not something we track here in the Pro Summer League, but if we're looking at time on possession, it's definitely been all Dogs this game. offensive zone time. They've cycled, they've worked hard, but they've only got a 1-goal lead. So here comes Austin McKenzie now in the puck. There's 1 minute, 23 seconds left. I imagine if they get control, Woodlands will be streaking to the bench.
They've left it pretty late to take him off. They've only got, they'll only have a minute.
Yeah, but you need to make sure that you have that possession, because if the Dogs collect it and go the other way,
Woodlands is
they're
going.
going. So here we are, 6-on-5. Hayden Dawes with the puck, sends it across. Dean Klomp, toe drag, but a great poke check by Lockie Walls, and the Dogs will send that all the way down the ice. But look at Corey Stringer go! Oh, man! Corey Stringer is absolutely livid.
It was a correct call. It was the right call, but good effort by Stringer.
It's a pretty close call. The rule there is if the referee determines by the time the players get to the face-off mark that one of the defensive player on the check on the coming out of their own defensive zone was going to win the race, and they allow the game to continue. So that was a pretty close call. They've gone for a timeout now. It's 53 seconds to go, and the Inferno will go 6-on-5 for the last 50 seconds. I'm a bit surprised they've waited so long to pull Woodlands out. They're going to lose anyway unless they do it. So it's one of those damn the torpedoes things. And sure, it can go the wrong way, but it can also go the right way. And it's statistically a good choice to do a little bit earlier than they've done now.
Seb Woodlands has given his team a chance to win. He's made 39 saves tonight. And now, with 53 seconds left in the game, he's got 6 of his skaters out on the ice as he stands there anxiously just praying that one of his teammates can put the puck in the net. So face-off, one forward by the Inferno. They collect it and send it back over to the point. That's Dean Klomp sending it deep to McKenzie. Puck on the side of the net, not able to collect it. Battling there is Barrett. He's going to shoot that high, kept in by Klomp, who sends that deep. First to it will be McKenzie for the Inferno. That comes out in front, and with the oven mitt covering up is the big American Austin Lefkowitz for his 17th save of the night.
And the clock stops with 33 seconds to go. And 6 on for the Inferno to 5 for the for the Dogs. And it is 2-1 the lead to the Dogs. Inferno, if they score now, they'll go to a penalty shootout.
McKenzie in front over to Dawes. He shoots. It did miss. I thought it went in, I gotta admit. Oh man, look at this on the CCM all-out replay. A cross-seam pass to who other than Hayden Dawes, and he just hits that over the net. Whew.
You don't see Dawes, you miss them from there very often.
That's his sweet spot.
That's exciting hockey. So here's McDowell, and he's going to try to win that back to Dawes, but a great job by Verjasov to win that face-off. Walls chips that out, and it hit the netting. So we'll re-rack and do it all again.
And with 21 seconds to play, another face-off deep in the offensive zone for the Inferno. They've got it stacked. They've got Dawsey on. Can they stick it in the net to take it to a penalty shootout? Sorry, to a shootout. We'll see.
Here we go, face-off, one shot. That goes wide. First to it will be Turner, but he's held up by Tashuma. Puck comes deep now. 15 seconds remaining. Dogs holding it deep, and this could be it, but it comes out. There's maybe one more chance for a shot. They shoot it, comes across just out of the reach of Klomp. He'll wind, take a shot, out in front. It's loose. Where's the puck? Oh, it's underneath the Doggies defender. A frantic finish to the game, and we got some fire going as we got some fisticuffs in front of the net. Who else in the middle of that than Jamie Burke? But the game will end 2-1 in favor of the Dogs, but not without fire and a chance to win at the end. An exciting game here at iceHQ to start off the round. What are your thoughts there, Scott?
Look, I thought Inferno were struggling in that third period, but they definitely put the pressure on at the end there when they pulled Seb Woodlands. They did everything they could to put that puck in the back of the net. It's just unlucky. They had the chances. Obviously, Dawsey had a big opportunity and just couldn't quite bury it.
Yeah, you know, as a goaltender, your job is to give your team a chance to win, and Seb Woodlands did that. He was outstanding tonight, stopping 39 of 41 shots. And if it weren't for a couple missed opportunities there, the Dawsey one there on the back door, obviously a grade A scoring chance, and then that frantic push in the front, we could have been going to a shootout.
Okay, so just to bring you up to speed on how the ladder looks now at the conclusion of that game, the Dogs with that win, they are now 3 points clear on the top of the ladder, which doesn't guarantee them the first place, but it certainly gives them a very, very good chance. The Bruins will have to win later tonight and then again next week in order to take off that first place. What that does mean for the Inferno is they still only have that 1 point lead over the Snipers. If the Snipers, so pretty much whatever happens with the later game this evening, The Snipers, if they win it, they go to 6, so they're still only 1 point between it. If they lose it, they stay on 4. So for the Snipers, it actually won't make any difference whatsoever to their finals proposition. In either case, it's going to come down to the game between the Inferno and the Snipers next week. So the next game for the Snipers is a little bit of a dead rubber. It won't matter for them, but it will matter for the Bruins. The Bruins will want to win it to give themselves that fighting chance to get in for the golden ticket ride for the grand final coming up in just a few weeks. So just to wind it up for this particular game, it was a fascinating little tussle. The Inferno a little bit late perhaps in pulling the goalie, but they got through. But the Dogs getting through in the end with 2-1 and a massive scramble in that last 20 seconds. Very exciting game indeed. Scoring to Hayden Dawes, assisted by Jesse Thompson early on, and then Berkey struck back for the Dogs, and Ruddle broke through with 5 minutes to go in the second and third period. Was a 0-all. A number of penalties were dished out, but that's not really anything to be terribly concerned of. But a telling statistic here, shots on the net, 41 to the Dogs to just 22 for the Inferno. The Inferno missing Hector Villeneuve this evening, but Dawsey did the best that he could, but you can't do it all on your own, although he had a pretty good go. So we'll be back with you in 10 minutes, so at 9:10 for Game 2 this evening, which will be between the Snipers and the Bruins. So